Okay. They had to be able to have a connection with both Saki and Yamano. That could really be anybody, really. It's a small town. I'm sure people knew that Yamano was here, and I'm sure that people knew Saki, one way or the other. So that doesn't really help us very much. The killer had to be able to move around without being noticed or being suspicious, so it must have been someone who was here beforehand. Well, here for at least a while, or was in a profession that no one would notice. Had to be able to get to the house without being noticed would imply that it was either one of my friends, one of Nanako's friends, or one of Dojima's friends, or a postal worker, but I don't think we have a postal worker, and Namatame is already innocent. We figured that out. So somebody who could move. I think we can rule out my friends, because I don't think any of my friends are going to be the killer. So we're going to go just someone else already to get out of my party, since I'm basically trusting my team. Okay. Here we go. Here's the people who are actually going to possibly be the killer. Well, this onward, I guess. So, I had to be able to move around without being noticed. Well, once we exclude my friends out of this list, there's only Dojima's friends and Nanako's friends. And since I never met any of Nanako's friends, I don't think any of them are going to be that. So it's either going to be one of Dojima's friends, which, again, I haven't really met any of them, or a public worker. So, what else can I... What other questions did they ask? Put out a large number of police. That's a pretty important fact, I think. So I'm able to slip through all of that. Now, just follow me on this one. Someone who could get around the city without having suspicion put on them would be a cop, right? So, well, out of the people who, I can finger for this, basically. So, a cop. So, we have Dojima and Adachi, really, are the only two people I think who could be doing this. Would be one of those two. They're both police officers dispatched with a lot of people going on. So either one of them could have been on the scene. Either one of them could have had access to either Saki or Yamano, because, Saki for the interrogation, or Yamano for the police protection. Pretty sure Dojima brought that up to me at one point, that they had protection on Yamano. Could move around without being suspicious. Well, duh. Obviously, either of those two could come up to the house. Adachi being Dojima's friend, and Dojima living there. So I would do that. Well, there hasn't been a kidnapping since Dojima was put in the hospital. And I don't see really a motive for either of them to do this. Could it really be Adachi? Seems really suspicious that a cop would do this, but I'm really kind of out of options. I don't really know who else to pick.
Huh? What about him?
Detective Adachi. A member of the police force. That is an interesting approach.
Like I said, it was sort of a random thought process.
It would certainly explain the lack of witness reports. It's the same reason no one ever reported seeing Namatame's truck.
This is a small town, so everyone must have known who he is. And since he's a detective, people definitely wouldn't have thought of him as being suspicious.
In fact, he could use his position to his advantage and hide critical information.
Huh. Well, if you think of it that way, I guess it's possible.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't see Adachi doing something like this. He's way too big of a fool.
But we're talking about Adachi here, right?
Yeah, and there you go.
I mean, really? Adachi? He's your textbook lousy detective.
Again.
Are we really on the right track here?
Actually, regarding Detective Adachi, I'm not sure how to put it, but there's something that's been bothering me about him for some time now.
Yeah?
Perhaps it's just my imagination, so I shouldn't speak too...
You should probably head back inside now, though.
It's cold. I think we've cooled down enough here. Let's go back in.
Besides, everyone else should hear our suspicions.
Adachi-san? That can't be. I mean, he said he came to escort Ms. Yamano and...
So he would be able to get close to her.
What? Was he at your inn when the announcer was staying there?
When Ms. Yamano was staying at our inn, the media were swarming all over it. That's when Adachi-san arrived, saying he'd been assigned to guard her. He told our waitress that fame could be rough.
Guard her? He didn't spend the night there? Huh. I wonder if he knew Ms. Yamano.
I don't know about that, but I heard he did call out to a girl in my class. I found out this afternoon. But I thought, you know, that's just how cops are. So I didn't think it had anything to do with the case.
Detective Adachi also questioned Saki-san, the one who found the announcer's body, on numerous occasions. I heard it was because there was so little information about the case at the time, but it's certainly unusual to question someone with as strong an alibi as hers multiple times. Then you think he had something else on his mind?
And that something is what connects those two victims to Adachi-san? Come to think of it, we've been running into that guy a lot, in all sorts of places.
It's true, we have run into him a lot. And I think he ended up helping us in one of the kidnapping cases, if I remember.
And every time he'd tell us what the police were doing before saying, "Oops, I said too much," and clamming up. Was that all to throw us off the trail?
Or to help us stay on it.
It would be no problem for him to drop that warning letter into your mailbox either. Not to mention the fact that he can destroy any evidence that might point to him.
Well, I just thought this is a random little tangent, but I mean, could it?
Then, is it really Adachi-san?
We need to confirm it.
This is still only a tentative theory. We should work to confirm it as soon as possible. This is Naoto Shirogane. Something has occurred to me about the case, and I'd like to get Detective Adachi's input on it.
Maybe we shouldn't talk to him on the phone. We should confront him in public, I think.
Huh? The transport? It's right now? Right, I see. Thank you.
What was that about a transport?
Detective Adachi is headed to the hospital to prepare for Namatame's relocation.
So he's gonna skip town.
We must head there at once.
Yes, Adachi was the killer. We're pretty sure, at least. Well, he fits everything that we were looking for, so I don't see how it couldn't be him, but still seems weird. Speak of the devil.
Huh? What are you guys doing here? Hey, do you know where Dojima-san went? They told me he snuck out of his room again.
I assure you, we've made it clear to him several times that he needs to stay put, but he keeps going off on his own.
No, that's just Dojima.
Jeez, with Namatame finally relocated, I was looking forward to going home.
So, he's been relocated. I've been wondering, you seem to be in a terrible hurry to get him out of this hospital.
Huh? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we can't leave him here with Dojima-san and Nanako-chan around.
I guess, but still it seems really weird that you're this worried.
Didn't you guys think so too? Hey, what are you doing here anyway? Nanako-chan's room is in the other wing. Don't you think you should leave before Dojima-san finds you? If he catches you, he'll start pestering you again.
Hey, speaking of...
Adachi, where's Namatame? There's been a lot of noise today for some reason.
Dojima-san, what are you doing here? Namatame's already been relocated. I was looking for you so I could tell you that.
You did what? Who authorized that? There's still more I need to ask him about.
Give me a break, Dojima-san.
Those first two murders have been bothering me. His motives are shaky and his alibi is rock solid. We closed a lot of loopholes on the basis of his testimony. But that part's still nagging at me.
Is this more of your detective's intuition? He's already been relocated. It's no use hassling me about it. And you kids should really get home too. You're gonna get in the way of police business.
What's gotten into you today? It's odd to see you taking work so seriously.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Usually he's goofing off and being an idiot.
Come on! I'm always giving 110% when it comes to the job. You should get back to work too, Dojima-san. Your current assignment? Get better as soon as possible.
What are you all doing here?
We came to confirm something with Adachi-san.
Well, start with the top one.
The time the announcer went missing? I can't say for sure offhand. It's not like I saw her or anything. That was months and months ago, too. My memory's kinda hazy that far back. Why wouldn't I question her? She discovered the announcer's body. But she didn't know much about it, so I only talked with her once or twice. Was that all you wanted to ask? Well, I hope it helped.
Well, I only confirm that you're still a fool.
Warning letter?
The one that was delivered to his house. It's in police custody now, correct?
I don't really remember.
Hey, what do you mean you don't remember?
It's kind of an important thing to, keep track of, Adachi.
I gave it to you to take down to the crime lab for processing. You're telling me you forgot?
I'm sorry. Your accident was right after that, and what with one thing and another, it sort of slipped my mind.
Now that's suspicious.
Besides, that thing was just a prank, wasn't it? Jeez, what are you asking me all this for? For crying out loud, what's this all supposed to be about? Dojima-san, you really need to get back to your bed. That's why your wounds aren't healing. And you all need to go home right now. Do you have any idea what time it is? I'm going back. I need to get to the station and report in.
Not quite.
Just one more thing, please. We know for certain now that the first two murders weren't Namatame's doing. Someone else killed them. Adachi-san, do you have any idea who that might be?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
'Cause we think it might have been you.
What? That's ridiculous! We already know Namatame's the one who put them all in!
Put them in.
What did you just say?
Put them all in. What's this putting them in business?
Gotcha.
Do you know something about the method behind their murders? Don't tell me that all that talk about TVs and whatnot from before was...
I see. Now I finally understand. To tell the truth, Adachi-san, I've been fixated on something you once said. Before I didn't know why, only that it sounded a wrong note to me. Do you recall when I read Namatame's diary? At the scene of Dojima-san's accident. At the time, I said, even the victims who survived and were never released to the public are written here. And in response, your words were, wow, then that settles it. How, I wonder, would that settle anything? At the time, the police had no idea that there had been other attempted murders related to the case.
Ah, that's true.
You had no reason to say such a thing. After all, there are countless examples of people disappearing for a few days. Yet when I read the list of names, you raised no objection. Odd, that. What do you say to that, Detective Adachi?
I don't know. I said I'm busy!
Wait, you son of a bitch!
Get him, Kanji. Or all of us too.
Adachi! Ah, damn it!
They really should have timed that little animation better. Adachi, run. Ugh, damn it.
Adachi!
Yeah, it's pretty clear that Adachi's the killer now, isn't it?